Hello everyone, this is Shubham Saha, and today we are going to deal with the income method of national income. So, first of all, the question arises in mind that what is income method? So, in this method, the national income is calculated by adding the income of all the factors of production within the domestic territory. Now, here comes a term, the factors of production. So, we basically knows that there are four factors of production, that is mainly land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And the payment that we give to these factors of production is basically known as factor income, or you can say the factor payment. So, land gets rent or royalty, labor, wages and salaries, wages for the physical work and salaries for the mental work. And in more technical term, we can say it's at COE, that is compensation of employees, that we will discuss later on. Now the third one is capital, and in return get interest, and entrepreneurship is profit. So basically, if we add all these incomes together, we get factor income or domestic income. And these domestic income is basically NDPFC, that is net domestic factor, net domestic product at factor cost. Now, लैंड के बदले में रेंट मिल जाता है और रॉयल्टी. In return of labor, we get compensation of employees. Now, this compensation of employees is a broad term. It doesn't include only the wages and salaries in cash. So broadly saying, compensation of employees includes the three things. That is wages and salaries in cash. मतलब जो एक एम्प्लॉय को या तो लेबर को कैश के फॉर्म में सैलरी मिलता है. Now the next one is wages and salaries in kind. Wages and salaries in kind, it means that apart from salaries, the allowance that they get, say for example traveling allowance or housing or medical allowance, these all are wages and salaries in kind and covered under this compensation of employees. Compensation of employees. And the last one is third part, is social employers contribution to social security schemes. Social security schemes, इसके अंदर क्या आता है? पेंशन, रिटायरमेंट पेंशन, और वी कैन से पीएफ प्रोविडेंट फंड. मतलब एम्प्लॉयज़ अब 60 इयर्स की एज के बाद, या तो जनरली अगर कोई एम्प्लॉयज़ रिटायर हो जाता है तो अपन देखते हैं कि उनको पेंशन वगैरह मिलता है, वो सारा इसके अंदर आएगा. नाउ हियर आई वांट टू हाईलाइट वन पॉइंट. सबसे ज़्यादा ब्लंडर इसी जगह पर होता है. यहाँ पे लिखा है एम्प्लॉयर्स, मीन्स एम्प्लॉयर्स विल कंट्रीब्यूट इन द फंड्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज़. बट समटाइम्स फॉर द कंफ्यूजन क्वेश्चन में यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में लिख दिया जाता है एम्प्लॉयज, नॉट एम्प्लॉयर्स, एम्प्लॉयज contribution to social security scheme. Mind this, we will not consider the employees contribution to social security schemes while calculating COE or NDPFC. We will only consider employers contribution to social security schemes, not employees contribution to social security schemes. Fine. Moving on to the next. Now here comes one more term, that is operating surplus in this income method. Operating surplus is the sum of income from property or income from entrepreneurship. Income from property includes two things. Number one, rent and royalty that we have seen in the last slide. And the second one is interest that we're getting on the capital. And income from entrepreneurship includes profit that we all know. Now, again, the profit is subdivided into various parts such as, say for example, undistributed profit or retained earnings. This is also a part of profit. Then uh, corporate tax, the tax that a company has to pay to the government. Now, dividend, that part which is paid to the shareholders, or you can say savings. These all are the part of profit. These all are the subheads of profit. This is operating surplus. Operating surplus includes two things: income from property, that includes rent and royalty as well as the interest, and income from entrepreneurship profit. So if you write the formula of operating surplus, it's rent plus royalty plus interest plus profit. And if you write more precisely, it becomes rent, royalty, interest, and write all the subdivisions of the profit, that is undistributed profit or corporate tax, dividend, and savings. This is the formula for the operating surplus being. So if in the numericals operating surplus is given, then no need to consider all these three things: rent, royalty, interest, and profit. Only you have to add compensation of employees to get the factor income. Next, moving on to the steps. Number one step is estimate factor income. Factor income, rent and royalty, then compensation of employees. It is by income from work, includes salary, wages, and employers' contribution to social security schemes, interest, and profit. And one more, that is mixed income of self-employed. We will also consider this while calculating the domestic income. Mixed income of self-employed. It covers both income from income from work as well as the income from the property. Mixed income of self-employed. Now, if we add all these things, we will get a aggregate, that is NDPFC, net domestic product at factor cost, and that is domestic income. And if we add NFIA, that is net factor income from abroad, to this NDPFC, we will get finally NNPFC, that is national income. Now moving on to the numericals that we are going to do now. Here comes a question. These 11 variables are given: profit, mixed income of self-employed, dividends, interest, compensation of employees, net factor income to abroad, consumption of fixed capital, net exports, net indirect tax, net current transfers to the rest of the world. and rent. Let's solve this. First of all, estimate all the factors income. Let's select the factor income, profit, mixed income of self-employed. Since dividend is a part of the profit and profit is already given, then we don't consider the dividend because it's already included in this profit part. Interest we will consider, then compensation of employees we will consider, and rent. By adding these we will get the factor income. Let's add NTPFC or domestic income, rent plus compensation of employees plus interest plus profit and mixed income of self-employed. In short, I am writing MI. Rent is 500 given here. Compensation of employees is given 7,000. Interest 400 and profit is 1,000. And mixed income of self-employed is 15,000. Let's add this. 15, 7, 1, 23, 23,900. So we get domestic income or NDPFC as 23,900. And in order to convert this NDPFC to the NNPFC, we only have to add NFIA. So NNPFC or national income is equal to NDPFC plus NFIA, that is net factor income from abroad. Now how this is calculated, net factor income from abroad? यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लेंडर होता है. Net factor income from abroad is calculated. Its formula is factor income received from resident of a country staying abroad minus factor income paid to non-resident. Let me clear it in a more better way. Factor income received from the resident of a country staying abroad. Say for instance, अपन इंडिया का एग्जांपल लेते हैं. अगर कोई इंडिया का सिटीजन है, इंडिया का रेसिडेंट है, and he's say for instance he's staying in USA. That is factor income received from a resident of a country means that he is a resident of India, but he is staying in the abroad and he works there and he earns there. So his factor income minus, ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि बाहर के लोग इंडिया में रह करके काम कर रहे हैं और अर्न कर रहे हैं. So that is factor income paid to non-resident, means they are not the residents of India and still working in India and earning their livelihood. So if we subtract that what we are paying to the non-resident from what we are getting from the resident of our country, those who are working at the abroad, and from there we will get NFIA. Here one blunder happens. होता क्या है कि ये फैक्टर इनकम पे टू नॉन रेसिडेंट को इधर लिख देते, फ्रॉम को इधर लिख देते. इसको याद करने का एक बहुत सिंपल सा तरीका है. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर फ्रॉम माइनस टू. NFIA means from what we are getting from the resident of our country that is staying abroad to what we are paying to the non-resident of our country that is working in our country. In this question, what is given? Net factor income to abroad. I think from is not given. Yes, from is not given. 0. We will consider from as 0 minus 2. What is the value of 2? 100. So our NFIA came out as minus 100. Let's put this minus 100 in this equation. 23,900 minus 100, and it becomes 23,900 minus 100, 23,800. And this is our national income, 23,800 crores. These all figures are in crores basically. So national income is 23,800 crores. किए कुछ भी नहीं, सबसे पहले फैक्टर इनकम एस्टिमेट किए, रेंट, कंपनसेशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज, इंटरेस्ट, प्रॉफिट, मिक्स्ड इनकम ऐड किए. अपन जब इसको ऐड किए तो फिर निकल कर गया है एनडीपीएफसी, जिसको हम लोग डोमेस्टिक इनकम भी बोलते हैं. और जब एनडीपीएफसी से एनएनपीएफसी में जब जाना होता है, कुछ नहीं, वी हैव टू गो टू नेशनल फ्रॉम द डोमेस्टिक. डोमेस्टिक से नेशनल में जाना है, वी विल ओनली ऐड एनएफआईए, एनडीपी, बस एक लेटर का चेंज है, एनएनपी एंड एनडीपी. तो ये डोमेस्टिक से नेशनल में जाना है, वी ओनली हैव टू ऐड एनएफआईए. और एनएफआईए क्या होता है, आई हैव एक्सप्लेन, फ्रॉम -2, always remember. And if you add NFIA to this domestic income or NDPFC, we will get NNPFC or national income. Now let's move on to some precautions while calculating this, while using this income method while calculating the national income. Be careful. Transfer payments. We will not consider the transfer payments. Basically, transfer payments are nothing, it's just one-sided payment. Say for example, gift, scholarship और old age pension. हाँ, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, there are two things, the retirement pension and old age pension. Often we got confused, और ये often MCQs में भी पूछा जाता है कि retirement pension, whether retirement pension is included or old age pension is included in the national income. Always remember that retirement pension is included in the national income. Old age pension is an example of transfer payment, and hence it is not included in the calculation of national income. We will consider only retirement pension while calculating the national income. Imputed value of factor services, we will include this since it helps in the flow of the goods and services. So say imputed rent or any factor. Windfall games, for example lottery, these all are non-factor services, and hence we are not going to include these things while calculating. We are not consider these things while calculating the national income using income method. And capital gains are also not included in national income. We will not include the transfer payments. We will include the imputed value of factor services. We will not going to include windfall gains because it's also like a transfer payment, and capital gains is also not included. So I hope ये समझ में आ गया होगा. That's it. Thank you.